Hey, it's Bill McIntosh here, and I'm the guy who's done over 100 million online with my various internet businesses over the years. And now I'm here to help you build a profitable internet business of your own. And you can also build a profitable side hustle if you're just trying to do something on the side. And on that note, I wanted to tell you about a live webinar that we just finished. We did a live stream actually here on YouTube, and I covered the highest ticket, the highest paying, most profitable affiliate program you can promote, period. And I went over why this is the most profitable opportunity out there right now. In fact, I know people have made over $90,000 in commission from a single transaction. And the cool thing is you don't even have to sell anything to promote this. So a buddy of mine just finished making a commission of, I think it was $12,358 from one single transaction, and he didn't have to sell anything. So we did a full in-depth training about this, and that's what I'm going to show you here in just a moment. We're going to flip to that, and we'll go into all the detail of how you join this program, how you profit from it, and why it is so powerful. But before we do, I wanted to remind you, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll see the subscribe button off to the side or down below. Make sure you subscribe because we cover content like this all the time. And like the video, smash that like button to feed the YouTube algorithm. It helps me out a lot. So if you get value out of this at all today, please smash the like button. And of course, hit subscribe so you can get more content like this. On that note, over to the broadcast. Here we go. So we're going to be talking about an opportunity that you might have learned about from me. And you might have learned about it from a variety of different ways. Some of you have been following me on Twitter, some of you from YouTube, some of you from our email list, from webinars I've done. There's all kinds of people here from all kinds of experience levels, anywhere from you don't know anything at all about the opportunity we're going to talk about today. Some of you are seasoned veterans, and we're going to be helping all of you. And this opportunity is something where you can make profit by helping small businesses across the United States claim money that's rightfully owed to them by the US government. And it is perhaps the simplest business model that I've stumbled across. This is something that's fairly new to me, and I've jumped in full speed ahead, and I'm doing really, really well with it. So when I find something that's a big win for me, I want to share it with the world. So this is a completely free opportunity. I know many of you sit on webinars and other kinds of things where people charge money for the training and the help and all of that stuff. This is not one of those things. This is a completely free opportunity. You do not have to pay to get the training or to have access to any of the money-making goodness that comes with the program. And if you haven't yet, let me actually do this. I'd like to make sure that if you haven't yet done it, that you jump in. So let's do that. We're going to pop that in there. And then Bill, if you could share that also in the chat as well for me. Then of course, by the way, I should introduce myself if you're not familiar with me. My name is Bill McIntosh, and I'm the guy who's done over $100 million in revenue with my various internet businesses over the years. I've been doing this a long time, over 2 decades, and I've had a lot of experience in what works and what doesn't work. And I would like to bring you some help to help you make more money. And the free opportunity that I just mentioned, just talked about, if you haven't joined it yet, this training is going to be valuable for you after you've joined. So make sure it's free. It's a little like 3 or 4 questions, and you hit the submit button and you're in. It's very simple. There's no credit card required. Put your credit card away and head over there. You'll see it's at myertcbusiness.com. Make sure you sign up to that opportunity. It's a free opportunity. Sign up to it, and everything I'm going to cover today will explain the whole opportunity from beginning to end. You'll understand what it is, how you make money from it, and how do you actually scale this up to make a lot of money like I am. So we're going to get right into it. You guys have been submitting so many questions. I have seen a lot of questions. And so I have a set of questions that I have put together that you guys have asked me on Twitter and that you've sent in through email. I'm going to go through all of those questions, and I'm going to make sure that you understand everything you need to know about this opportunity and how to make the most amount of money the fastest with it. Okay. And that's my goal today. And then after I get through, I have a little bit of a presentation prepared. I'll answer all the questions that I already have pre-stored up. And then we'll do some live Q&A in just a little bit. And I have a mystery guest who is going to join me in a little while too, who is doing some really, really impressive things when it comes to this business. And he's a business partner of mine. I'll introduce him in a bit. All right. So first off, let's get into what this opportunity is, right? So what is the opportunity that I keep talking about, this free opportunity? Well, the simplicity is we can help businesses across the United States and US territories too get paid money that is rightfully theirs, because the government during the pandemic offered assistance of all kinds. You've probably heard of some of it. There was a paycheck protection program and a disaster injury loans and all this kind of stuff. But there's one program that not a lot of people understand, and it did not get very much press. And that is called the Employee Retention Tax Credit, also known as ERTC. That's what those letters stand for. Also sometimes referred to as the Employee Retention Credit. So you'll hear it referred to as ERC or ERTC. But it's a program where the government said that if you were harmed by the shutdowns and the lockdowns and all the stuff that came with that, the social distancing and all, like imagine the restaurants back in the day, right? Where they had to shut down half their tables and have patios outside and all that. But if businesses were impacted by all of that stuff, yet they still kept their employees. It's a key thing. They still kept their employees on the payroll, even though they were suffering and not making money and struggling and having challenges. Well, the government said, you know what, we're going to reward you for that. And we're actually going to give you a big fat refund, which is it's called a tax credit. It's a fully refundable tax credit. Okay. So underneath all of this program is the fact that these companies need that cash. They're small businesses across the United States that have been harmed. Many of them don't know that they even qualify for this. There are tons of businesses that still out there that are qualified for it. And I'll explain how you reaching out to and finding businesses who need this help, you connect them with the people that can help them claim this money, and you walk away with a big fat profit. And I'm talking like tens of thousands of dollars in many cases in commission in your personal pocket for helping that small business get connected up and claim this money. And I'm going to answer all of your questions because I know there's a lot of them. So we'll just keep powering through this and I'll keep answering your questions. So the first thing is people ask me, why is it free to sign up to this opportunity? So when you sign up at myertcbusiness.com, why is it free? You know, like what's in it for me? Why am I like spending all this time and money promoting this thing and make it free? Well, here's the thing. You are going to get commission when you help a business join this claim their money, which I'm going to explain how all that works in just a minute. But when you connect a business and you help them, you actually get paid a commission. Now, that business doesn't have to buy anything. That's the cool thing. They just have to engage with it. It's a team of tax professionals and attorneys and people that help them get their money. And then you get paid for making that connection and helping with that process. It's quite simple. And the commissions are huge. In fact, the guy that I'm going to bring on in just a little bit, just recently, I think it's over 13 grand, a recent commission that he got from one single deal. Wow, right? So, and now you get the commission. So why am I promoting this? Why am I trying to introduce you to this program? Well, I get rewarded as well. So for me helping you and helping make the whole thing go smoothly. So I get you, I train you, I help you, I support you to help make sure that you can win with this business. And I get a commission for that too, okay? Now realize this isn't some weird pyramid scheme or MLM thing because there's no money involved. You don't have to invest a dime of your own money into being able to join and promote this program. And neither have I. So I haven't had to spend any money out of my pocket to join and to be part of this program, and neither do you. All we have to do is work together to find businesses, connect them with the government help they need, and you get paid, but so do I. So that's what's in it for me when it comes to this. Okay. And I'm doing this in a big, big way. In fact, we have an entire team of over, I think we've grown it to over 60 people at the peak right now. That their entire jobs are dedicated to finding businesses and helping them claim these benefits. That's how big this is an opportunity is for me. I'm dropping several of my other businesses to focus primarily on this one. Now, what is ERTC and ERC exactly anyway? So these are the programs that are underneath all of this, okay? And by helping companies connect up with, again, it's a specialized team of tax attorneys, CPAs, and professionals that help them claim these funds because it's a complicated program. Unfortunately, the government made this really, really confusing. They changed the rules multiple times, and it's really made a mess of it. So most businesses, they think they're not qualified when they are, or they don't know the program exists, and it's quite a mess. And that's where you come in. With the help that I'm going to give you and the education I'm going to give you, you'll know exactly how to introduce these people to the right professionals who can help verify for sure whether or not they're qualified legally to claim these funds. If they are, then they help them claim them, right? Now, let me show you. Some of you might be skeptical, and I want to do something really quick here. Let me share my screen. I want to share something really fast. So we'll share screens. I'm going to pull up that screen. And here we'll go to, no, putting the wrong people up here. Putting the rest of our team up here, everyone but me. So here, let's do this. I'll put it full screen. There we go. Now let me drag this over here. Okay. So really quick, this is a web page. This is just live from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, right? Very reputable company. They represent businesses across the entire U.S. And they talk right here about how to claim your employee retention tax credit. They go in great detail about what it is, how it works, who's eligible. And I'm going to talk about a lot of this data with you in just a minute. And then at the end, talk to your accountant or payroll preparer about ERTC, okay? You want to know what happened when I did that? So when I followed the Chamber of Commerce's advice, and I personally reached out to my CPA, he said, well, I don't know how to do this. That was the response. I'm not sure how to do this. And so I started checking around, and it turned out that it was incredibly hard to figure out how do you qualify, if you're qualified, to have certainty to know legally if you're qualified, and then to actually make the claims and do all the paperwork. It was complicated and very hard. So my CPA couldn't even do it. And that's when I stumbled across this company that I have been working with called ERTC Express. They're a huge team of tax attorneys, CPAs, and it's like an army of professionals that know they're explicitly trained on this exact thing, and they know exactly how to legally find out if a business is qualified and help them claim it. All right. So, and I can tell you in my experience, for my business, I actually went through the ERTC process, and my business received 6 figures back. Okay, so as an example, I know this is real because I personally got paid from the US government 6 figures for the payroll that we have in our company, for all the employees that we kept on throughout the entire pandemic. So I know this is real because I've cashed a 6-figure check by going through this program. And it was really hard. And as I said, my CPA, who I've been working with for years, really smart, really knowledgeable guy, he didn't know how to do it. So let's go back to the screen for a second. Another thing here I want to point out to show you that this is legitimate. This is from the U.S. Treasury Department. This is their document on the employee retention tax credit. And again, it goes over all this. And by the way, those of you who are here, I can make arrangements to get you these documents. Everyone who joins at the myertcbusiness.com link, I will get you copies and I'll get you the links to these documents and these pages, and I'll give you notes on everything we go over today. All right. So this is again from the U.S. Treasury and their official documentation about the ERC program. And then of course here we have everyone's favorite organization, the IRS. So the IRS talking about the employee retention credit. And something I want to show you here. So this is one of the original pages about it. And you'll notice here, this is archived. It's historical only because the procedures have changed. And the IRS, they love making things complicated, don't they? So they changed the rules multiple times on us. And so it caused a lot of confusion. And it actually caused a lot of companies to think that they weren't qualified when they were. And it's amazing to me how often we find companies who think they're not qualified, but then we run them through the process and we find out they are. Okay. So this page is not current, blah, blah, blah. So let's go to the most current page and we can read all about the employee retention credit, how it works. IRS has a ton of information about it, right? So the reason I'm showing you all of that is so that you know that this is not some like fly-by-night weird thing that I made up, okay? This is legit. It's a real government program and it works, okay? So when you sign up through the link that you've been provided in the chat or that you see on the screen there at myertcbusiness.com, you'll be connected up and signed up as an agent under the ERTC Express company. And there are some really good friends of mine, the founders of that company. I know very, very well. I've known both of them for over a decade, and they have built a gigantic business around serving people and helping them claim these benefits. And how it works is this: we introduce companies to ERTC Express. We help that business go through the process. We just there's like a checklist of documents that they need to provide, and you can give that checklist to the company and help them provide the documents. And then ERTC Express helps them find out if they're qualified, how much they're qualified for, and then they help them make their claim. And they do all of that for the business for no charge up front. They actually get paid based upon how much money the business actually gets from the government. So there's a back end arrangement where if a company, let's say, claims $500,000 from the government, they get a piece of that. They get a percentage of that for helping get through that whole process and making that claim go. But guess what? So do you. So you also get a piece of that commission. And that's where we're seeing these big commissions, big five-figure commissions coming in pretty regularly. And it's on that piece, right? So when a company successfully claims their money, we get a commission, a little piece of that for helping make all that go right, okay? So next question is, how does a business qualify for this? It's actually quite simple, okay? I'm not going to get into all the crazy legalese and all the little details, but the simplicity of it is, was a business impacted from shutdowns? Was it impacted from social distancing? Did their supply chain get crushed and they couldn't order products or supplies, right? Did their sales go down? That's a really simple way to do it. If their sales went down through that time period. So there's a lot of different ways that someone can qualify for this. And in fact, the business truly doesn't know if they're qualified until they talk to a professional who understands all the ins and outs of how businesses qualify for this program. And that's why you introducing them and making that connection is so valuable for everyone involved. So if you think about it, you're going to win because you're going to get commission. The company, the business is going to win because they're going to they're going to find out with certainty if they're owed the money, and then they're going to get it. They're going to get a claim of usually these are often seven-figure checks that the government sends to these companies. So the company wins, you win, I win because I help you and I help make this whole process smooth and easy for you. And we all walk away with a lot of money in our pocket, right? Which is really why you're here. You want to put money in your pocket, and that's how we do it. All right. Another thing that I saw questions about in my Twitter threads and in my email inbox was, haven't all the businesses claimed it already, right? They've been talking about it on the news and blah, 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 right? And they have been talking about other programs like the payroll protection program. That's been talked about quite widely. But this program is little understood, not talked about well. And I saw an estimate that over 7 million businesses are still qualified and have not claimed these funds. So yes, there are many, many businesses who can still claim it. And the program remains open from the time of us being live here right now. We have about 24 months. So we've got about 2 years to be able to pull this off and help businesses and walk away with a big fat commission check for doing so. Okay, so 2 years left and millions of businesses who still qualify. Another thing that I seen asked is, how does it help small business? Like, why is the government doing this? Isn't it just a waste of money and getting into political arguments? In fact, I had a political argument with someone on Twitter about this just today, that it's destroying the country and all this stuff. And here's the deal. So many small businesses during the lockdowns and pandemic and everything that happened during that time were damaged. And many times the business owners had to go in massive debt to keep their doors open, and or they had to drain their savings to just keep their businesses alive. And I'll bet you probably can think of a business that you go to or business owners that you know, and some of the difficulties and challenges that they went through. I personally know like some restaurant owners around here that they drained their savings. They went into debt. They felt they kept their employees on, right? And they kept their employees and didn't lay them off, even though they were losing money every month. And this is what this program is for. It's not like charity to just give away to billionaires and millionaires, right? That's not what this program is about. The program is about the companies that were damaged and harmed by all of the government enforced. They wouldn't have done those things if the government didn't force them to. And now the government is trying to make them whole. And it's specifically for companies who kept their employees through that time, right? I was one of those. We were struggling through that time period and we kept everyone on the payroll. And that was not easy, at all. And so business owners like me who might have been dipping into their savings or having to go and find credit and do all of these things, this is now a chance to make them whole. And so, no, I don't believe that this is some sort of bad political maneuver. I think the government is making right for the mandates that were enforced upon all of the businesses. So that is that. It is fair. It does help them, and they don't qualify if they weren't damaged in some way by the shutdowns and the pandemic. That's a really important thing to understand. They had to have been harmed, and they had to have kept their employees on, right? So if they just fired everyone, they can't claim this credit. All right. Now, the other question is, how do you make money from this if it's free? And the point of this is that you connect people to get them the help they need so they can claim their funds. And when they claim a 6 and sometimes 7-figure check from the government, you get paid a portion of that. And often we're seeing checks that range, the commissions that get paid to the agent can range from 4 figures, like $1,000, $2,000, $8,000, up to 5 and even 6-figure commission checks. In fact, I saw one just about a week ago that was 99,000 and some change that went to an agent. That's for one single business, one commission check. Pretty crazy numbers. Okay. And that's how we make money, is on that part of the business. And I want to explain, there's a lot of ways to get paid sometimes, and I can't get into great detail today, but on a future training session, I'm going to explain this in more detail. But there are ways to get paid immediately. And then sometimes you can get paid when you have to wait until the business finally claims and gets their money. Okay. So there's a variety of ways that you might get paid your commissions. Some of them are instant. Some of them take more time. Okay. But they're big commission checks and well worth the effort. Which comes down to the next question, which is how much money can you make from this? All right. Now, I have to be really clear. I can't make specific promises of exactly what you might make in this. But the thing is, you don't have to invest any money at all to actually do this business model, to be able to get involved and do it. You put some time in, some effort in, and I'm going to give you some specific training. I have a step-by-step training I'm going to give you in just a little bit. You'll know exactly what you need to do next to make the most amount of revenue from this. Okay. And some of these commission checks, again, I can't promise that you'll have the same results. Obviously, everyone's results are going to vary. Some people could make nothing. Some people could make more. But I have seen commission checks that are being paid out anywhere, again, from the thousands of dollars all the way up to the, like getting to $99,000 and change from a single commission. Okay. And then the other question was, how do I get paid from this? And you will get a direct deposit or check paid straight to you. You can have it sent to, if you own a business or you have a business bank account, it can be sent to your business. If you don't, you can have it sent to you personally under your personal name. Just send you a bank, like a electronic deposit, or you can't even get a paper check if you want to get it that way. So that is how that works, and it gets paid directly to your company or to your name, your personal name, if you don't have a business. All right, and then the big question, and this is where I'm going to be bringing a surprise guest on in just a minute, and that has to do with how do we find businesses to help, right? That's the $1 million question, right? How do you find businesses to help? And a lot of them. The more businesses you help, the more money you make. All right. So I'm going to be doing a specific training on how to do this. But one of the things that I've done, so in probably the last 90 days, I've gone all in on this ERTC business model, to the fact that I have teamed up. I went and I found a business partner, and we started an entirely new business. And what we're doing is we have spun up a huge outbound telemarketing room, and we are doing outbound calling to businesses across the United States. And at this point, I think we put 50 dialers in the seats, and we have 10 supervisors who supervise them and make sure that they're doing everything right and checking the quality and doing all of that. That's how big I'm into this. So we now have 60 people in the seats doing nothing but reaching out to businesses across America and helping them and finding them to do this. And by the way, I'll talk a little bit about it. It's not the main point of today, but we do also allow you to have access to our telemarketing team and have them generate leads for you. Okay, that's an optional thing. We'll talk about it at a future time, but that is something that is available to all of you. If you join through the link you see on the screen there, the myertcbusiness.com, I can make that available to you. It's something we're doing for our team that is promoting and helping with this. We can enable you to have access to our telemarketers to generate leads for you. So again, we'll talk more about that in a future session, but that will be available to everyone who joins this opportunity. And I'd like to bring my partner on, who actually runs the day-to-day operations with that. And Carlos, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Go ahead.
Hey, there you are. There you are. So, hey, I want to put you on the spot, right? Because the big question, the two big questions that they have is, how much can I get paid and how do I find businesses? Okay. And here, I'll bring you on here. In fact, I guess, can I bring just Carlos and I on, or do I? No, there's no way to do that. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to bring, wait, that's not who we wanted to do. How do we do it?
That's not me. He looks like me. He's got the same kind of beard. I've got more hair than he does, though.
All right, we'll do it that way.
Not much more. So, not much more.
So I brought two mystery guests on. Okay, so we've got over there is the very talented Bill Finley, who is on my team, who helps do our marketing and a whole lot more. So he's helping me wrangle the show today. And then down below, we got Carlos Gomez.
Hi, guys.
Also very talented. And Carlos, down below, down there, is the guy running that team of telemarketers who are outbound dialing to businesses across America. And I want to talk about first, I know you personally referred a friend of yours to the program, right?
Yeah, it's a great friend of mine, actually. A couple of people, actually, but
well, the one you recently got a commission. What was it? How much was it? It was
$12,600.
So Carlos got $12,600 in commission from one deal from a friend of his that he knows. Tell like what's the details of that business that you got that for?
Okay, this is a crazy business, actually. If you think about it, I've always thought he was crazy, but he seems to like it and do it. He's got a pizza parlor in Buffalo, New York. So
Pizza parlor.
a pizza parlor in Buffalo, New York. And so he lives on the side of the lake in Buffalo where there's no wind. And so down there it's nice. But all of us are familiar with the Buffalo on the other side, closer to the lake, where the wind blows through. And that's where that's where the city is, and that's where his pizza place is. So half the year, you've got ice and snow blowing through the air, the pepperoni's going out the window. No, I'm kidding. But
frozen pizzas.
It's a tough business, And then COVID didn't help him at all, because now COVID came in, and through the whole spring and summer, they couldn't have anybody inside, and it was all that big mess, Now, you said something earlier. I'm sorry, I've been popping in and out because I've got about 10 resumes that I'm looking at now because we need to hire more agents. But what was it there? Oh, his restaurant was shut down. He couldn't have anybody inside. Right. But he was told by his CPA, when I talked to him, he goes, "Oh yeah, I heard about it. I'm not qualified." And I thought, well, it doesn't make any sense to me, because restaurants are like 99% qualified. There's 12 different ways you qualify. And some people think they know it all because you didn't lose money, but they really don't know it. And anyway, it's so funny. There's so many guys out there that just don't know. Probably most of them don't know they're qualified, and they are. But anyway, he told me how that happened. And so finally we're talking. He goes, "Okay, well, look, why don't we just find out?" Well, you can find out if I'm qualified. Why not? What's there to lose, right? This guy got $300,000 back. $300,000 back from the IRS. I think that's what I like the best about it, is it's the IRS giving you money. Never happens to me. I never even say anything. The IRS. When I hear the words ERS in the ether, the world out there, money disappears from my bank account.
Then it's kind of fun when we get to reverse the tables on, right, and then make them pay us.
Well, it just shows. Government agencies. You hear these kind of stories, right, for years, but when a government agency gets money, they don't give it back, because if they give it back, they never get any more money. And this guy's got $400 billion, $400 billion. I mean, I don't even. How many zeros you got? $400 billion. And it was so confusing, like you said, back in 2020, that $400 billion was sitting there until March of last year, when they amended some of their things. And now the people who got PPP loans who weren't qualified before, they're like the hottest prospects. Because I think, just because of talking with people, I'm not an expert. I'm not a CPA. I'm just a guy that likes to make money. But I think that they probably took most of those qualifications and then just swapped them out with their old ones, because the guys that did the PPP loans are probably the highest or most qualified guys. And remember, guys, if you guys get involved in this, I really don't know why I'm on this show, to be honest with you. Bill just coerced me, I was over yesterday talking to him, and I was visiting him in the office that he's in there, and his little guard dog Brody was trying to bite me every 10 minutes. Anyway, I just forgot what I was going to say, but
yeah. Well, so let's talk about this. So I know a lot of people they have uncertainty about finding a business, and I'd like to talk about how simple it really is, right? So, I mean, you guys are literally just calling a list of businesses across America, right?
Yeah, I've got every business in the U.S. that got a PPP loan, and I've got agents on it. We get 100 to 200, maybe more leads a week. That's what we do, and it's a simple phone call. I mean, I'm not even using sales technology. I'm not like handling a guy's objections and using all the best sales closing techniques. I'm not grabbing Grant Cardone's book on how you wrestle that guy in the crowd and beat him. And it's just like, how would you know? You're not. Are you interested in finding out? No. Okay. Next dial. It's the low hanging fruit thing, because you would think that after all this time people would know about it, but they don't. I mean, there are so many people that have not even heard about it. I talk to people all the time. I was at my church the other day, and guy says, "Hey, what are you doing today?" And I go, "Well, I'm getting guys for this ERTC program. Have you heard of it?" And he goes, "The what?" And I said, "The ERTC. It's ERC. It's a employee retention tax credit. The IRS has got $400 billion they're wanting to give to people like you, And he goes, "Oh, well, what?" I go, "Hey, look, I haven't got time to tell you about it right now. I gotta go, but here, call me up, And anyway, I meet people everywhere. You could just walk down the street with a flyer. You could probably stand on the court.
Quite literally, so just to jump in here a little bit. So whether you're doing the phone calling like you're doing, or you could, as you just said, walk into a business and say, "Hey, I'm here because I want to help you. I'm here for educating companies about this program. Have you filed for ERTC yet?" If the answer is no, they need to be in touch with the ERTC Express team to find out if they're qualified.
I'm going to make I got some business cards designed. When do I have time? I've got I've got the agents, and I've got more I'm hiring right now. I've got 12 resumes that I'm going to set up so I can meet with some people I just started 4 yesterday. I got to start another 10 on Monday. And get my coaches on there to train them and stuff. And I would literally just go in I would just go business card and go, "Do you need money for free?" That's all I would say, because you got to keep it simple, right? It's really simple because the process is complex. And
so really any way you could communicate with the company, you could send them a letter in the old snail mail postal service letter, right? You could call them on the phone.
You can call them on the phone. You walk in the business, ask your friends for referrals, tell you pay them a percentage of what you want to pay you. You could put an ad on Craigslist. You could, I don't know, I've never tried that, but you could. I was going to say Penny Saver. We used to make so much money on the Penny Saver, but if anybody even knows what that is anymore, but yeah, walking into businesses. I just think that would be a cool thing to do. If you need to get your steps in, you need to exercise. If you're like me, you're a 68-year-old guy that's a few pounds overweight, and you want to you can just walk down the street and talk to people. Really.
Well, Bill Finley, who's joining us just up there ahead. Like, I know you also engage with businesses for like selling them services and different things. And you have an example of just the other day, because you're buying a car. So all of a sudden now you get a car dealership while you're standing on the lot. Why not start talking to them? Was that hard?
I tried to buy a car, and they didn't have quite what I wanted. But then rather than just jump in the rental and drive away, I started talking to them, and pretty soon I had a lead. So just anything, right?
Yeah, it's literally that simple. And by the way, I want to ask the audience, the purpose of today's broadcast is not to try to sell you leads or try to get you involved in our telemarketing center. I want to just get you all started off right, get everybody started, and I'm going to continue helping you over the coming days and weeks to make sure that you do really well. But I am curious, would any of you guys be interested in having our telemarketing team generate leads for you? Like Carlos's team, he's the guy managing the team and helping them call businesses across America. If they could generate leads and pass them to you, like literally on the phone, like just transfer them to you on the phone, who here would be interested in that? Let me know if there's enough interest in the chat. I want to find out if there's what the interest there is. Yeah. So who would be interested in us? We're trying to grow the team. So we rocketed it up to 50. It's been chaos. So Carlos has been managing the chaos in sales in that telemarketing room. But we want to scale to 100 agents, and we're trying to grow that okay, there's a lot of yeses. Okay, so I'm going to do this real quick because it's not the reason for today's show, but I want to let you know that if you want to do that, there it is. What this will do is this will hold your spot in the line, because right now we're sold out. Our leads are sold out.
Oh, thank God you said that. Thank God.
But if you are interested in that, I'd like you to text that number. This will go right into our team, and it's going to hold your spot in the line. So text 702-745-2581 and just text deal to that number. It'll collect a little bit of information from you, and then we'll follow up and we'll try to make arrangements so that you can actually have access to our telemarketers and have them generating deals for you. Okay. So again, text deal to that number, 745-2581. And then you can have our team generating deals for you. Okay. And then I have a little training I'm going to do as well. It's going to talk about what you should be doing next as far as your ERTC business. And I have a surprise. So I have a surprise for you, Carlos.
You have a surprise for me?
I have a surprise for you. Yes.
Oh my God. That usually is usually a different set of overalls and a different toolbox for me to put on.
So one of our agents, the agents, like everyone watching this show, you guys are, I sure hope you're joining and signing up as an agent with us at myertcbusiness.com. We have our agents who, they were the first round of people who got a crack at having our team generate deals for them. And I just today found out Christy and Alan, I guess I can say their name, Christy and Alan Pepperdine, just got a $6,430.08 commission from one of our deals that the telemarketers transferred to them.
Wow.
I literally found out like a half an hour before we came on the air. So
that's awesome. She's a great girl. I talked to her just in chat one day, and she was like, I can't even take your guys' calls, because I'm running my other business. And so anyway, she was really she's really that's exciting to hear that you got that money. Wow, that's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, right on. So that's an example of that. And then I also know in the ERTC Express business, they also do training with all of the agents. So me and Carlos and all of you guys, we get to go sit in on training from the ERTC Express team. There's a guy named Sid over there and Brian, and they also do training and help you guys with this whole business model. And anyway, one of the things that they do is they do games where they do prizes and they give out like big, huge bonuses when people are winning those games. And then another one of our customers who was getting leads through our telemarketers, I think he won like the entire sales contest for the entire company wide using our leads. So
wow,
yeah, that was pretty cool. All right. And then Carlos, anything else, any advice? I really want people to understand the simplicity of how simple and easy it is to get businesses to at least want to find out if they're qualified. Is there anything else you can pass along about how simple this really is?
Well, just the basic thing is, remember, you're just offering the qualification service. You're not selling them anything. Those guys over there, Brian's team and stuff, will do any kind of sales work or whatever they need to do if they find the person qualified to do that, and then they have that right to do it. And they do a really good job of it. So you just set a report and go, hey, you should find out about it. It really is just that simple. You may have to talk to them one or two times or something. You know what I mean? People are casual these days, so you just make a conversation about it. But it's I found that to be the way. I just make it very casual, and I don't do anything other than that. And that's how we do it. The call center is a little different because we're calling them in the middle of the day at work, and we're getting their attention and doing all that stuff. But when I'm talking to friends or I meet somebody in the environment, I keep it very relaxed and casual. That's it. And they go, well, why wouldn't I want to find out? I mean, that's the thing. They may think about it for a second and go, well, what's it cost? You go, it costs nothing to find out if you're qualified. Oh, well, good. Let's do it. I mean, it really is. That's the simplicity of it.
And then I noticed Karen there asking in the chat, I popped that on the screen, about not being able to text that number. So if you're international, try +1 before the number and see if that will work. And if for some reason that does not work, the other thing you could do is you can email us. You can reach out to contact contact C-O-N-T-A-C. So you don't even have to spell right to make money with this program. Contact@jobcrusher.com. You can email us there and also ask that you want to hold your place in line if you can't get through on text message. All right. And then here, let me put that back up. There we go. And so, yes, so all of you here, if you want to be able to take advantage of getting commission for making these deals, you have to be in the program. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. You can put your credit card away and just go to myertcbusiness.com and sign up there. It's just, I think there's like 4 things you enter in, and boom, you're in. No credit card required. And then what I would like to do is I have a really quick little slide I want to show on the screen that is everyone's homework. So what to do next. Now that you have gotten the broad overview of what this program is, it's all about what to do next. And then what I'd like to do is take some questions. So I know the chat's been busy. I haven't been able to watch it. So Bill, I think you've been watching that chat. Yeah. So what we'll do is I'm going to share my screen, show the quick presentation on what everyone should be doing next with your training, your homework for today. Then we'll do Q&A and we'll wrap it up today. So
do you need me to hang for Q&A, or can I get back to my resumes and all this stuff?
Yeah, you can go back to hiring agents. We need 100 agents on the phone, man. Get cracking.
I know this was dark brown before I started. No, I'm kidding. All right, guys. Do what Bill says. This is a great program. Get started. It's awesome. Bill Finley, Bill McIntosh. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Carlos. Okay, here, I'll take over the screen. There we go. And so again, if you want a chance, you want first crack at being able to get Carlos's team to generate leads for you, you can text DEAL to that number you see on the screen, 702-745-2581. And that'll put you on the waiting list. Currently, all the deals are sold out, but we are looking for the next round of people who want to work with the telemarketers. And it's a great way to get started. If you're at all nervous, a little anxious about calling companies to try to do this, it's a great way to shortcut that and just hire one of our guys to do it for you. Okay. Cool. Let me get my slides going. And I have like a billion windows going. That's almost not an exaggeration. Okay, here we go. Get the right screen up. So let's do this. And I'm going to take the banner down. And so what should you do next? That's the important question. First, make sure you're in the program. You cannot make money if you're not in the program. So go to myertcbusiness.com. That will redirect you straight to the form that you can fill out to join the program. It's 100% free. There's no like sneaky upsell or anything you have to buy. You get access to all the training, the ability to make commission, the ability to generate deals, everything you need to profit from this, and it doesn't cost you anything. We just want to help as many people as possible. And the team over at ERTC Express is a great team to work with. As I mentioned, I know the founders. They're great guys, ethical guys, and they're helping thousands and thousands of businesses across America. Okay, now I have a free guide that I will be providing you. So you're going to want to watch your inbox, and I'm going to give you this guide, and it explains different ways a business could potentially qualify. So you have like a cheat sheet, so you'll know are different ways that a business could qualify. And I will be giving everyone who signs up at that link a free copy of the guide on how businesses might qualify. So keep an eye on your inbox after you've joined the free opportunity. I'll be sending that out here probably tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. And it will explain, so you kind of have a really clear understanding, and you can reference the quick guide to see all the different ways that a business might qualify. But of course, the only way they'll know for sure is to get in touch and become and reach out to ERTC Express. Okay. Now, one of the things that will happen is that when you join, you're going to get a personalized link. So when you join ERTC Express through the link that I'm giving you, through my link, you're going to get a personalized referral link, and you can send companies straight to that link. So you can just say, hey, Sally Smith, secretarial service, click this link and go apply for the ERTC program. And when they click your very special tracking link and apply to the program, it's credited to you. But what I recommend is that you personally submit that business. And you could just go to your tracking link and fill out the forms on behalf of that business and get them started. Okay. So get in the program, get your guide. And then what I recommend is you make a list. Okay. And you want to really spend some time thinking about this. And I don't mean just like quickly jot down 3 businesses, but I want you to think about every business around you that you go into: restaurants, chiropractors, doctors, auto places, anything, any business that has employees around you, and make a list of all the ones that you interact with, whether you know the owner or you don't, but businesses that you do business with all around you that you have some knowledge or experience of, especially friends or family members who have businesses. And I want you to make a list every single business that you can possibly think of and make a list, right? Everyone who joins this program, this is what you should do right out of the gate. I'd love to work with you with our telemarketing team and do all of that. But honestly, start with the list of businesses around you that you're familiar with and that you might know. Gather contact information and find out who the decision maker is. For most small businesses, it's usually the owner. But sometimes a business that's a little bit bigger, it might be an office manager, somebody like that. Okay, so find out who that decision maker is that deals with, the company's finances or the company's payroll, and just get their contact information. And you can find this you can just go to Google Maps. Just go to Google, maps.google.com. Type in the business name, find their contact info, and add it to your list. You can put the list in a spreadsheet if that's easy for you. Put it in a note, just a digital note. Put it on a good old-fashioned piece of paper, whatever you're comfortable with. Just make this list, write down the contact information for that business, and see if you can find out who the decision maker is. Sometimes it's not possible right out of the gate, but if you know the owner, you know the owner's name, heck, you can even call the business and ask them, but you want to gather all the contact information, and ideally you can figure out who the decision maker is. And then on our next training session, I'm going to be sending you out a notification in the coming days. We're going to get together again, and I'll teach you exactly what to do next. Okay, step by step, we'll go through exactly what to do, what to say, how it works, and that's going to be on our next session. Okay. And again, my next training session will be 100% free, just like this one. And this is what you want to start doing. If you're feeling confident in this and you're feeling bold, you can start to reach out to those businesses and try it out. Talk to a few of them, and then we'll get together and you can tell me what happened, right? And I can help you out with what happened with that. But these are your next steps. And so if you're feeling confident, feeling bold, you can actually start reaching out, calling, walking in, talking to those businesses. And if you're not quite feeling like you know enough information or you're not confident enough, then we're going to get together, and on our very next training session, I will explain to you exactly what to say, exactly what to do, so that you can start moving forward in this program. And here, let me just do that and come back on here. There we go. All right. So that is the program, and that is how you will profit from this opportunity. And I hope that makes a lot of sense. And if any of you have questions, and what I'm going to try to do today is handle a lot of the broad questions that you might still have about how it works, how you get paid, things like that. And we'll just start to do some Q&A. So Bill, I don't know if you've noticed if there's anything stored up already that we should cover. Oh, I think you're muted, Bill.
There we go.
There.
The mute button always falls to the bottom as soon as I look away. So.
Well, I know it's been really busy because I can't keep up with the chat. So I'll let, if we have anything pre-filled up, I especially at first want to focus on like getting started kind of questions and things like that. So let me know what we've got question-wise, and then I'll do my darndest to help everyone while we're here.
All right. John says that you asked him to ask this question, so I'm going to take that at face value.
Okay. Yeah.
How can we be paid right away and not in 16 to 20 weeks?
Okay. Yeah. I remember from Twitter, right? We had that conversation. Okay. So, yes. So with the ERTC Express company, they have something that is really quite revolutionary, really different than a lot of other companies. They have a way where they're paying out advanced commissions. Okay, I don't know of this being available in any other place, but they have a way of doing it where they have a backer that is basically like I guess I hope I can say this. I hope I'm not getting anybody in trouble, but I'll just call it a fund. They have a fund who is willing to front the money so that you can get paid first before before the company gets their money from the IRS, from the government. Now it's a limited program. They're just starting to release it, and they're just starting to talk about it. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is make sure you join the myertcbusiness.com. And then on the next ERTC Express training session, let's find out some more information. I'm going to get them to tell you because it's their program, right? I'm not the owner of ERTC Express. I'm just really good friends with the founders, and I'm an agent for the company, just like you. Okay, so we can try to get some more information from them, and they'll explain exactly how it works. But I do know that it's something that they're piloting now and that is available, and that I know there are other ERTC businesses out there. I don't know of any of them that do it quite like this, so it's pretty unique. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, that kind of answers a different other question. Mm-hmm. Someone says, "I'm seeing many businesses doing this already. What makes this one the best to work for?" So
there you go.
You already partially answered it. Maybe there's more.
Yes, there are a couple things I mean, aside from I really like the founders, right? They're friends of mine. And I've, as I mentioned earlier today, I've known them, both of them, for over a decade, and ethical, straight shooting, good people. So knowing that makes me feel good. But also, there's a lot of fly-by-night ERTC companies. Okay, there's a few big ones, a few good ones, and there's a lot of fly-by-night companies. And one of the things that really makes them stand out is they actually have tax attorneys. They actually have CPAs, an army of them that work for them. And so let's say you refer a business and they're trying to figure out if that business qualifies. Well, they actually get the opinion straight from a tax attorney in writing about that. And also with their CPAs and with their tax attorneys, they stand behind their work. As opposed to many of the fly-by-night, they're just like boilerplate, stamping, submitting. And then later, if the business gets audited and gets in trouble, you think they're going to stand up for them? No way. But yeah, with ERTC Express, they, as I mentioned, they have licensed CPAs, they have tax attorneys, and they stand behind the work. They're not just one of these boilerplate companies, just, rubber stamping things, trying to just make a buck. Okay. The other thing is they do something really unique. They have, Brian likes to call it the lockbox. Okay. So with other ERTC companies, the government sends the business the money directly, right? And then they have to wait for that business to then pay them their cut. So let's say a company gets $100,000, right? And let's say that they're going to cut a check. They have to then send the processor $20,000 for their fees. Well, do you think anybody ever might get buyer's remorse or decide that they want to keep that money and not pay? Sure. But the way ERTC Express does it, they have this lockbox feature where the money comes from the government to a third-party neutral escrow. And then they send the money to you and to Brian and to the company, and they divide the money up before the company ever touches it. Right. So other companies, the money goes direct to the company, and sometimes you don't get paid. It's kind of a bummer, but it does happen. But with ERTC Express, that money goes to the third-party escrow, and you always get paid. So there's some examples of features of why I like working with them, and we'll go to the next question.
There's a group of them that I'll sort of summarize and combine together. And they basically, they're looking at for how does this work practically? Right? Do we, when we find a business, do we somehow get them to click our link? Do they find so when we find a lead, do I do the paperwork? Is that correct?
Okay, so and there's a variety of choices here, and this is why it's not a simple question to answer. So you could just you have a tracking link. When you sign up, you're given a tracking link. You could just provide that link to the companies that you contact and say, "Here you go fill out the form. See you later." Right? Like you could do that, and what will happen is, maybe they'll fill out the form, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll provide the documentation that ERTC Express needs to process the the filing, or maybe they won't. So what I like to do instead is I like to work with the company and I fill it out for them. So I just pull up my own link right in my own browser, head over to that link, and then I fill it out on behalf of the company and I gather the information. I do that because I want control. I want to make sure that the company I'm referring actually completes and they fill out all the missing information. They provide the documentation that's needed, and I like to stay involved. Okay, but that's not for everyone. Everyone may not want that. If you're willing to just throw out the link and then they'll go fill it out, and maybe they'll complete, maybe they won't. If you're okay with that, that is a totally viable way to do it, and actually many agents do it that way. But for me, I like to make sure that these deals are so valuable, like you got to think about it, right? Carlos just got that $12,800 check. So it's worth staying on top of, right? If that means you're going to get a payout like that, it's worth, actually being involved. But you don't have to if you don't want to. So the simplicity is you got a tracking link, you can use it, and then you can be as involved in helping get the company through the process as you want to. It's really up to you.
Okay. Then we have one other one here that's on that topic, and then some that are they're a little bit higher level question, but still generally on topic. So
sure, yeah.
So what's the percentage? I don't know if this is worded right, but you'll get the idea. What's the percentage that ERTC gets?
Okay, so the percentage, this is also one of those questions where it's not as simple to answer as it might seem, okay? But the base commission is 10%. So it's 10% of the fees, okay? So you have the money the company gets, right? So let's say the company's going to get $100,000 for a good round number, okay? Then the ERTC Express has their fees that come out of the refund. So those might be $20,000 as an example. You would get 10% of that. So you would get $2,000. So for on a $100,000 deal, you might get $2,000 is a good average example. The numbers vary a little bit, but you get 10% of the fees that are paid out of the refund, out of the proceeds of the that refund. Now, if you get actively involved in helping get the paperwork in, they have a special where they give you a bonus. And I don't have it in front of me, but off the top of my head, I think that can bring you up to getting a 20%. Okay, don't quote me on it because I don't have it on the screen here, but I think it's 20% commission instead of 10. You basically could double your commission by being involved with helping collect that paperwork. Okay. And they're going to give you training about how to do that in the ERTC Express program. And I'm going to tell you about it too. So I'm going to talk about on our next live stream, I'm going to go and talk about exactly what we do and how do we work with getting paperwork and how do we process our deals. So I'm going to walk you through that whole process from what do you initially say to the company, how do you collect paperwork if you want to collect paperwork, and then when you do that, you're going to, oh boy, let's see if I feel like there's another one coming.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
They come in pairs.
We're gonna have to find the frame just as I sneeze to use as the thumbnail for the
All right.
Anyway, so yes, So if you get involved with helping with the paperwork and helping get it submitted on time, you can double your commission, and I think it's 20% at that point.
Okay. Where did John's question go? We have one more here.
Which, by the way, has this been helpful for you guys? If it has, please I'm a horrible YouTuber, right? So I should have told you this way at the beginning. But if this has been useful, smash that like button. It
Yeah.
really does help me. So it helps me get the word out. It helps YouTube understand that this content was useful, and it might actually spread the word and help me find a few more agents to join us and become part of our community. So do me a big favor, smash that like button you see right alongside this video. And then, of course, if you haven't yet, you should subscribe, because I'm going to be doing more live streams just like this one, where I'm going to help you with this ERTC business. And of course, here on YouTube, it's free, like it's no charge. So I'll be coming back multiple times to help you on these live broadcasts, and you don't want to miss them. So be sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, awesome. Well, good. I'm glad it's been helpful for those of you commenting in the chat. Thank you for that. But yeah, and hey, even if it's been horrible, smash like anyway.
Let's see. John says, can we get business lists of a particular niche for a city, state, etc. from ERTC Express?
Yeah, well, there are ways to get lists. I can't speak for them on exactly what lists they will provide, but I'll find out for you. So I'll reach out. I'll get in touch with Sid, who's their main trainer, find out what lists they can provide you. And then on our next training session, maybe I'll even give you a couple places that you can go on your own to find lists that are pretty useful. My favorite tool, and I'm a partner of this business, but it's called leadcarrot.io. That's my favorite place to get business lists of various kinds of companies. But full disclosure, I'm a partner in that business. It's leadcarrot.io. You can get lists of businesses in all kinds of locations across the US and just about any niche market you would possibly want to serve.
Cool.
All right. What else we got?
Can we use, so we're now sort of moving, still kind of on topic, but we're still moving, or we're moving into sort of a higher level, I think. Can we use your pay per lead service, I guess, to just fill up the primary form on the ERTC site and then stop from there? I don't want to deal with the long secondary form.
Yes, so you definitely need to have communicated with the company. Okay, first of all, don't just grab random companies and stick them in the form, right? That'll get you thrown out of the program. So don't do that. Just want to be really clear on that. But if you talk to a company, could be by email, could be by phone, however you're communicating with businesses, and they want to find out if they're qualified, you can send them the link and get them to fill it out. Or you could fill it out on their behalf, but it must be an interested company. Don't just stick random companies in there. Yeah, like I said, that's against the terms and it'll get you thrown out. So don't do that.
Okay. It's been a little while since I have visited the States, but this is a good question if I remember. Luis asks, do you have material in Spanish?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if ERTC Express has Spanish materials or not. That I mean, there are a lot of
that's a market.
Yeah, a lot of Spanish-speaking business owners, so that would be smart. But I actually don't know. I'll find out. I don't know the answer to that question. Brilliant idea, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's maybe it's an untapped, like a sleeper market.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say, I completely forgot about this because I know we have a little bit of an international audience from some of the comments, that you don't have to be a U.S. citizen. You don't have to be living in the U.S. to actually recruit businesses. It's another thing that I should have touched on earlier. I did not. So if you're in Australia or like Bill Finley, who's on mic with me, if you're in Canada up there or anywhere in the world, you can still reach into America, find businesses in America that qualify, help them claim their money, and you still get paid. You don't have to be here in the U.S. Only the company that's making the claim has to be in the U.S. So you can still reach into the United States through email and phone and all of the ways that you possibly could, and still be able to profit from this. So that is an important thing I should have said a long time ago.
Yeah, I
right.
mean, a lot of international companies. Certainly, I deal with American companies all the time and all the way through. So you might not be able to just walk down the street and do the business method that way. You certainly can hit up all of your American contact companies and go about it that way.
Yep. Yep. Definitely.
We've got a couple of questions. I think they all more or less boil down into one, and that is about the leads program. They more or less boil down to how much are you charging for leads, and
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I don't want to turn today's show into, this is supposed to be a free opportunity. So I don't want to turn today's show into a pitch, right? So, but if you text that number and we reach out to you, we'll explain all the details. We'll explain the costs involved in having our telemarketers generate leads, and how all of that works. Okay. So, and on I'll do a future session soon, and I'll just we'll talk about our lead program, but I want to make sure that I've helped. We have a lot of new people that have joined in the last week. So I want to make sure I help everybody and deliver the free help that I promised and not turn this into a pitch. Okay. So I'll hold back a little bit, which is kind of weird. I'm an entrepreneur and sales and marketing guy at heart. So even though I really, really want to sell you right now, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to deliver on my promise of helping you for free. That's the point today. But if you are interested, here, I'll pop the banner back up there. Where'd it go? Just text DEAL to that number, 702-745-2581. Text DEAL. And that'll put you on the list. And then we'll reach out to you as soon as there aren't even any spots available anyway. So as soon as there are spots available, we'll reach out to you and we'll give you all the details on cost, how it works, and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. And follow up from Jason, who is the one asking. His primary consideration is not having to fill out the long secondary form, and he points out that what he's talking about very specifically is if he's using your leads. So they're definitely going to be from businesses that are interested, but he just doesn't want to talk about other form.
Got it. Yeah. If you're using our leads, yes. Now I would really recommend that you don't have to, right? If you end up doing it, you'll do it however you would like to. But I personally would recommend you try to get involved with that. It'll double the size of your commission. So they make it worthwhile to do that. And it increases the odds of the deal going through. So I'd recommend it, but it's not required.
Okay. I think we've come to the end of the questions that I have stacked up here. So I want to do last call probably.
All right. So we'll do last call for questions. And again, I'll remind everybody, smash that like button, whether you hated today's broadcast or you loved it, or maybe it was just meh, whatever. Hit that like button. It does help me out. It really does make a big difference for how YouTube distributes this, and I can get the word out about this program when we do that. Then, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can be notified on our next live broadcast. Because on the next live broadcast is the one where I'm going to be teaching you exactly what to say and how to get your deals processed. That's the next step, and we're going to be covering that on the next broadcast. And then eventually, I'm seeing I'm getting enough pressure in the comments and on the text messages coming in that I'm going to have to probably talk more about our buy a deal program on a future session too. So, but for now, subscribe, like, and then get your last minute questions in before we wrap up for the day. Pop those questions into the chat. Anything you need to know about the ERTC program, about how to get deals, how this all works, whatever. Ask me anything you want. You can ask me what my favorite color is if you'd like to. Okay.
Does ERTC and I guess ERTC Express that specifically, does that work together with a simple money machine, which some people in the audience may be familiar with, or maybe not?
Okay. Yeah, that is a program. It is similar yet different. So they definitely are two separate things. But you can do them both at the same time. So I guess that's the best way I'll answer that for the moment.
Okay. And another follow-up from Jason. He says, so after we fill the primary form, then someone from ERTC Express will call after that for the secondary form?
That is correct.
Okay. And can we find or make our own lists?
Yes, you can make your own lists. In fact, and that was the big step on the thing I was talking about, is to make it a manual list of businesses that you might know or that you might visit, right? So that's kind of like making your own list. But beyond that, you can also use, there are lots of tools you can use to generate lists, to call or to email. There are a ton of ways you can make lists. And then, of course, I gave an endorsement to the company that I'm a partner in, leadcarrot.io. That is a great way you can go get leads from there too. You could build your own lead lists and do your own calling, do your own emailing. You do not have to hire my team, my telemarketers, to do this opportunity. You can do it all on your own. That's definitely not a problem.
Cool. And someone was asking also very early on, things were getting busy, so I didn't answer or ask the question yet. Is this being recorded?
Yes, it is going to be living here in YouTube. I think we'll just leave it. I'll leave it up here. It's published. It's a public feed, so it'll stay here in YouTube. Yes, so it has been recorded, and it will. You can come back and rewatch it if you would like.
Cool. I think I'm caught up.
All right, fantastic. Well, I'm super glad that you guys joined us. Many of you probably don't know this, but like in a dark age long ago, before the realm of internet marketing today and social media, I used to do a regular weekly live stream show. And I'm going to become active once again. So you're going to start to see me a lot more active in social media and back here on YouTube. In fact, I was one of the first business and entrepreneur streamers ever. Before YouTube even let you do streaming, it was on a platform called Ustream. Anybody remember that? Remember Ustream? Ustream.tv. Twitch didn't even exist. I think it was Justin.tv back then. Mm-hmm. So that's making myself sound old, but I've been building internet businesses for a long, long time. And so I took a long break. I stopped doing my live streams. I stopped interacting on social media and sort of went into hibernation, so to speak. And I'm back. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of that in the near future. So all of you who subscribe here on YouTube, you'll be getting a lot of content from me, teaching you both how to make money with the ERTC program, but also how to be a powerful entrepreneur who grows their business and makes a lot of profit. I'm going to be doing training about all things marketing and sales and entrepreneurship as well. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And on that, are we cleared to take it down today, Bill?
We have one last minute sort of extra bonus question.
Oh, got the last question crowbarred in. Let's do it.
So Tim's asking, if we're using Profit Platform, can the email follow-ups be done through the CRM software?
Yes. So a lot of the audience doesn't know what those things are. So Profit Platform is my hosting. So I have a company where we build, host, run, and help people build websites. That's profitplatform.com. And on there, we also provide email autoresponders and all the tools that you need to run a successful business. And yes, you can put your stuff in there. That is the simple answer.
Cool. Then we are ready to take it down.
All right, fantastic. Well, on that note, I want to thank Bill. Thank you for your help today. And Carlos, who is long gone, but thank him as well. And especially to you who tuned in today from home or your office or wherever you're at. Thanks a lot. And we will see you soon. Bye for now.